Good morning, everyone. This is Brian Patrick with ForexTradeAlarms.com, and I have a new video for you today about support and resistance. It's actually going to be a three-part video series about support and resistance, and in this first part today, I'm going to discuss the basics about drawing support and resistance lines on your chart. In the second part, I'm going to show you a couple of different ways that you can trade using support and resistance. And then in the third part of this series, I'm going to show you a couple of ways you can avoid fake breakouts. And if you've ever traded with support and resistance, you know what I'm talking about. I like to call them fake outs. You're trading support and resistance and you think the price is broken out of broken above resistance or below support, and it's actually doesn't follow through, and you end up getting stopped out. I'm going to show you a couple ways hopefully you can add to your trading arsenal to avoid those fake outs. Okay, first of all, this video is going to be very basic, so if you're an experienced Forex trader, you may want to pass this video and just come back next week when we upload part 2 and then follow up with part 3. The reason I'm making this video is we've had quite a few members come on board in the last week or so. We've gotten a lot of questions about support and resistance and how to draw the lines. So I wanted to make this quick video about some basics, how you can do that yourself. Now, before I get started, I do want to make this warning. I've got a euro dollar chart up and it's a daily time frame. If you show this chart to, let's say, 10 different traders, you're probably going to get 7, 8, maybe even 10 different ways of drawing these support and resistance lines. Okay, it's really a personal decision. I'm going to show you how I draw mine, but you're free to take a look at the charts and kind of make your own decisions. I'm going to show you some guidelines. In a horizontal period like this, it's not too difficult. When you get into some trends like that, it's a little more subjective. Okay, first of all, what is support and resistance? Okay, this bottom line is what we call the support line, and this top line up here is what we call the resistance line. Okay, and this bottom line, basically, if you want to look at it like a floor, and the top line, the resistance, is like a ceiling. Okay, this price here is, I've drawn this line at 1.5378, and I've done it based on the low of this candle here, the close of this candle here, which is the lowest close in this time period, and I've drawn my resistance line on the close of this candle here, which is the highest close during this time period. Okay, now you can, and some traders do, draw the support and resistance lines based on the highs and not the close. Okay, if I were going to do that, I would move these lines down so that it's touching the low here and the high here. Okay, I prefer to use the closes of the candle instead of the highs. Okay, so I'm just going to move these back. But that's what I was talking about. If some traders do like to use the highs and the lows instead of the actual candle closes. Okay, so you will get, you will have maybe a little bit of variance based on how you do it. I like to use the highest close and the lowest close to create this channel here. Okay, so this price here, 1.5376, is acting as a support for this currency pair. You'll see how it's basically holding the price up. The price for this pair doesn't want to go below here. Now, it does actually dip down below, well, a few times based on this close here. It doesn't close below here. It goes down a little bit here. Likewise, it goes up a couple times up here. Okay, so this line is acting as support. You see how the price, I've done it basically after this uptrend. It's supporting the price here. The price bounces up, supporting it here. Imagine a ball bouncing on a floor. Bounce here, it doesn't go down here and goes down here. Okay, so this support line is acting as a support, holding the price up above this particular price point. Okay, now likewise, the resistance line up here, this line is acting as a ceiling for the price. The price doesn't want to go above this line, doesn't want to close above this line. And you'll see how it actually does go up above briefly a couple times, more so here than the first example. But it's acting as a ceiling for the price. The price meets resistance. It doesn't want to go up any farther when it hits this particular line. Okay, so as you can see here, this is a pretty apparent that we're in a horizontal channel. Okay, one thing to remember about support and resistance is the more times the price comes up against either particular line but doesn't go past it, it becomes stronger. Okay, so we have the line, we have the price bounce down to this line here, it goes up to resistance here, so we have once on each case. It goes down here, depending on how you look at it, it's actually crossed over the price 4 times here, but it doesn't close below that price. and then it bounces up here. It doesn't go all the way to resistance. Comes back down, touches it briefly, goes back up, again not all the way to resistance, comes back down here, and this is where I've drawn the line at the close of this candle, and then goes back up and bounces off up here. Again, it doesn't actually close on the line, but it comes pretty close. So it's basically we've created a price channel. The price is bouncing back and forth like a ball in between your support and resistance lines. Okay? Pretty simple concept. It's not really that difficult. As you look at your charts and as you start to draw these yourself, you're going to gain more confidence in doing this. Okay, again, this is pretty obvious. This is a horizontal time of consolidation we're in. I'm going to go over to a pound-dollar chart. This is a 4-hour chart. And I've drawn support and resistance lines on this uptrend here. And again, I've used the close of this candle touching up through the close of these two candles. And then the resistance line, the close of this candle up high, up through, all the way up through here. Okay, actually see that we just came out of a period of horizontal consolidation here. We broke, and I'll draw this on the chart for you here. Okay, I've drawn a resistance line there and a support line here. Okay, and you can see how the price bounced back and forth, floor and ceiling, and finally went down through here. And again, this is I'll touch on this in part 3, but this is kind of a fake breakout. Okay. So again, the price has bounced back and forth between support and resistance. Doesn't go all the way up to support to resistance here. It doesn't come all the way down to support here, but you can kind of see what's happening here. It's in this channel, and then it finally breaks out of the channel and then goes up. And I'm going to delete these two lines here, so clean up the chart a little bit. So again, what I've done is I've drawn my support line from the bottom of this candle to the bottom of these two candles here, the top of this candle through the top of these up here. Okay, so you see how the price, just like in the horizontal channel, in this vertical upward channel, the price is fairly close to this line here, a little bit above in that case. And again, this is, it's not an exact science, it's more of an art. The price has been hovering around this resistance line, goes back down, support, goes back up to resistance, goes back down, touches support, and actually kind of blows through support and goes down all the way through here. Okay, and in part 2, I'm going to discuss some ways that you can trade using these support and resistance lines. It's called breakout trading. Okay, what's happened here is we're in an upward channel here, and basically what's going to happen is at some point or another, the price is going to go either one direction, either up or down, and break out of this channel. And obviously, the price broke out and went down through here. Okay. And then again, next week I'm going to discuss a couple ways to trade, but just to kind of give you some things to think about. What do you think is going to happen after this period of consolidation here? You see, we've got, a long time of consolidation. Eventually, I can tell you, eventually the price is going to go one way or another. It's going to break out of this horizontal channel and start a new trend. So that'll give you a little bit of information to think about over the course of this week, and I'll be posting part 2 of this video, how you can trade using support and resistance, at the end on next Friday. So again, this is Brian Patrick with ForexTradeAlarms.com, and I know this has been a very basic video, but thank you for watching it, and I hope if you're new to our system or new to Forex, you've actually been able to get some good information out of this. Again, drawing support and resistance lines is more of an art than an exact science, but as you do it, you will gain confidence, and I hope it will help you trade. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time.